Welcome inside the kennel, the heartbeat of the dog game, where real breeders break down real experiences, and the experts drop the knowledge you can't Google. We talking structure, bloodlines, nutrition, training, wins, losses, and everything that makes champions in and out of the ring. This is for the ones who live it, breathe it, and build it, one lit at a time. Your host, Kevin, Ben, and Roderick. Lock in.
All right, Benny Hood here with Zo Lopez, and he was the architect of the BullyDex dog show that I attended, and I wanted to talk to him about. And how you doing there, Zo?
Hey, Benny. Doing all right. How about yourself? I appreciate for bringing me on and discussing the show a little bit.
Yeah, man. Anytime, I'm kind of always curious about the behind the scenes and the effort that goes into it. Because you always hear people griping about shows, but I don't think anybody appreciates what goes into the planning of one.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. There's a lot of involvement with the show. I mean, from ordering the tables to ordering the ribbons to everything, the permits, the from top to bottom. It's a lot. It's a lot going on with the show host. And the show was hosted by myself and my partner Sean Brown. So everybody had he's a little behind the scenes, but he got to get some credit where credit's due also because he did step it up with me. He did help me out a lot with the show. So I really want to give that man his flowers because I appreciate him what he did for me. Him and his family really stepped up the day of the show. So just want to make sure everybody knows that.
Well, I mean, I can say with some certainty that I enjoyed it, my boys enjoyed it, and it was pretty good. Like you're never gonna leave any show going, oh yeah, I 100% agree with everything that happened. But I'm gonna just tell you, it was you got to dig hard to find something to bitch about if you ask me. Like it was pretty good. Uh,
Yeah, I appreciate it a lot. I mean, I know there was some hiccups here and there throughout the show that I mean people really won't see behind the scenes unless you're behind the scenes. I mean, uh, it was just from the start to the finish. It went pretty smooth from the audience point of view, but if you were involved with the show, you saw we were really trying to push it along. Um, y- Go ahead.
well, if you want to go ahead and kind of introduce yourself to the people who may not know you, as far as just a brief introduction. How many years you've been breeding. What is your preferred breed? Because I don't believe it's Frenchies, is it?
No, no.
Okay.
So my name is Zo Lopez. I was born and raised in Chicago. I've been breeding dogs since '09, so close to 18 years now. Uh, I actually started with boxers, and then a couple of years after, I went ahead and purchased my first English bulldog. But like everybody trying to jump in the game, you don't know what to expect from the breed. So unfortunately, that first English bulldog was very, very aggressive. So uh, we did end up finding a good home for him and actually pet homing him to an older couple that had time. And I mean, it's all part of learning with the experience of doing. I'm breeding English bulldogs as first of all, but I mean, everybody just looks at an English bulldog as a big, lazy dog, but there's some of them out there that's actually very energetic. So,
I have
but
one, and I've always wanted one, and I finally got one. And I'm gonna
uh-huh,
be that's what surprised me is that dog is so athletic that
yes,
and energetic. And she
mm,
she can
mm,
run laps around these Frenchies in the summertime. Now she ain't gonna be out there when it's 100 degrees, but when it's 80 to 90 and they
yes,
can't make a lap around the yard without panting, like she don't seem to bother her.
yeah. So yeah. It's so I've been breeding for about close to 18 years now. In 2016, I did end up getting my first Frenchie. It was a blue Merle. It was a blue Merle male from the Ukraine, actually. That's when the Ukraine breeding transport was very, very high. And people were getting a lot of dogs from the Ukraine. Now, I believe with all the restrictions and whatnot, they put a stop to that. But yeah, this was about 2016, 2017. But man, when I tell you Frenchies are crazy, man, I have two Frenchies still, by the way, but I don't know how y'all Frenchies breeders do it because they are a handful. They
Yeah,
are a
but
handful, but I mean, I give it to y'all because the whelping is a lot easier. That's what I do like about Frenchies.
you
But
see that those videos on social media and such where they talk about that Frenchie's looking at his owner talking about, well, they got a little money in the bank. I wonder what it's going to be today. Am I going,
hmm
am I going to sprain my ankle? maybe
yeah,
maybe get a parasite, something like that. Like, yeah,
yeah,
it
yeah. I
is
mean,
constant with them.
yeah, and it's I mean, you could do all the proper testing and whatnot, but you really and especially and that's for all breeds, but I had one Frenchie in particular that the testings in the world, you do the health test to clear all the stuff. But all of a sudden, he's like, I'm letting her out for your morning routine, and all of a sudden she's like, her back legs are dragging out. I was like, wait,
Oh
what's
yeah,
it? And you know what that goes about, right?
yeah.
The IVDD.
There you go.
And yep, sure enough, take her to the vet. Sure enough, that they said they just need great rest and keep her up and have her in a pillow or whatnot. But it was just all of a sudden, never seen a sign of it, never seen anything. But yeah, it's just with Frenchies, you never know. But
I've
I
been
mean,
lucky. I've never experienced it, but I know a few people that have, and
mhm.
it's tormenting because you don't know how long they're gonna be like that, right? Like it's it
Yeah,
can
I
be
mean,
permanent. Nobody I know it has been permanent for, but it's
yeah.
been varying degrees. Like, one person I know it was a couple weeks. Another person I know they called me about it, and they ended up going to the vet, and I think it was just a couple of days. The dog was still a little stiff and stuff after a couple of days, but it was obvious it was going to make a recovery.
Yeah, I want to say it took her about close to two and a half weeks. She did make a full recovery, and luckily, she wasn't bred yet. He was about to come into heat, but after that situation, I ended up just paying her and giving her to a pet home because I mean I don't know. Like we could all say it is genetics and whatnot, but I mean, there is. I believe animal genetics does have a test for that for
They,
IV.
yeah, they
Yeah,
pretty much all do. Whether it carries it or it has two copies, or
yeah,
I don't
but I
even
mean,
think it matters if it has one copy or two. I think it's I know it's not like
yeah,
disc like a human, but it is kind of in a way.
yeah, but I just don't unless you are doing an X-ray or doing a OFA testing and whatnot. I don't me in particular, right? I don't think you could tell if a dog has IVDD by just a swab of the mouth. That's just me. Like
And
I don't know about anybody else, but it just seems a little
I
suspicious to me that a swab of the mouth is going to be able to tell me if my dog has IVDD. So,
I
I
think
mean,
a lot of those tests are well, I mean, they still on a Frenchie panel. They still have DM, and there's no recorded.
yes,
There's never been a case of any full blood Frenchie, anything over 88%, ever displaying any signs of DM, even if they had two copies. But they keep it on there
100%.
because I guess they need it to be a 4 panel or a 6 panel. I guess you can't have an odd number panel. I don't know.
I, honestly, I think it's a money grab because I know for the English Bulldogs, that IVDD test just started. I want to say less than 6 months ago,
Yeah, because
and
it's not even a known problem in the breed, right? Like this.
No, no, it's not a known problem in breed. And I had actually a lady had a litter about 6 months ago, 4 months ago now, and it was so we took one of my best females and bred her to Ruckus, Velvet Boy,
Yeah,
and it was they're higher dollar dogs, of course, and she asked for everything. She asked for all the health tested, and she did come back carrying one copy of that IVDD. Everything else was clear. But when she asked me for that test, I was like, animal genetics test for that for English bulldogs now? She's like, and she sent it to me. She's like, yeah, they just put it up 2 months ago. And I was like, hmm. So what happens to all the dogs that didn't get tested years and years and years of breeding? All of a sudden, like,
They probably didn't have it. They probably got infested into the breed, but people crossing these Frenchies and stuff with everything.
hmm but yeah, it is what it is.
I
But
mean,
yeah, the Frenchies, man. I don't know. I love them. Like they're a particular breed, but I don't know. And especially how saturated the market is with them. It's like sometimes I see people on Facebook all day trying to give them away, like
yeah,
five
it's
hundred
tough.
bucks, two
It's
hundred bucks. Like,
it's tough
man,
sledding
that's
out there. I'll be honest with you. It's you you got to get creative with your marketing and your deals. Like
yeah,
as far as like
yeah,
I mean, we've done a few payment plans and only one of them's ever went south, but you
yeah.
tend to have to hold the dog longer and deal with it stuff longer. But I
hmm
mean, sometimes
Yeah,
that's what it takes to find them a home.
yeah,
And
yeah. It
it's
does.
like anything else. Like I guess we're getting off topic a little bit, but that's all right because
Yeah,
I enjoy talking about this part of it because I hear it all the time, and I see
yeah.
it all the time. You see it on like people attacking people on Facebook for those posts you're talking about, selling a dog for that
Yes,
amount. Like man, people are so vicious, and it's just the truth of the matter is it don't. That person buying that $500 Frenchie was never going to be your client if you're
no,
3,500, 4,500. If that's you and that's your Frenchies, man, that guy that sold that one for $500 is not in your lane. The buyer was not in
and
your lane.
exactly. And I did listen to the last episode where you and Kevin were discussing like what does it bother that person that's selling whatever 5,000, 8,000, $10,000 stud fees or $20,000 dogs? Why does that affect you? I mean,
Yeah,
everybody has their own lane. I mean, to me, it's like when somebody comes and asks me my price of my dog, I give them the price and they'll be like, well, I found this one. I was like, okay, that's by all means. I'm not gonna sit here and try to tell you don't buy that dog because of X, 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 and X. But I mean, it is what it is. But this is my price. It's not like I just make it up. I mean, I'm putting every factors into play of how many PGs, how much did I buy the female for, how much my stud credit is. I mean, how much a C-section is, how much if the surgical, because English bulldogs are not hard to breed. That's what people don't understand. I've been breeding for close, well, now I'd say English bulldogs 16 years, and I've only hit on an English bulldog with an AI twice. Everything else has been a surgical.
see, is that because they pull?
Yes. So they do pool. So, I'm sure you've seen there's a big thing about mini bulldogs and big regular overdone bulldogs.
Yeah, the
They
over
are
what do they call them
ye- over.
overdone or whatever.
Yes, yes. So this new mini breed tends to, I guess, pull a lot more than your overdone breed. But it's just, I don't know. It's just so much that comes into play. I mean, I do repro services, of course, on my own. I mean, when I was in San Antonio, I was doing it for people. I had like a mobile service, and I've seen all types of breeds, but yeah, I'm telling you, and I tell people is like when it was me doing a repro service for English Bulldogs, I tell them I was like, look, I breed English Bulldogs for a long time. Hey, I would do exactly everything exactly the same how I'm supposed to do it, but for some reason, it's a lot harder for English Bulldogs to hit on a regular AI. I mean, some people might have better success rate than I do with English Bulldog, and trust me, I've hit them in all types of numbers to see if there's any difference. And
What about if you
nope.
did a TCI? Like if you know what you're doing and you do a TCI,
So I have I
you
have so I have a girl's particularly, right? Her name's Muffin. The first time she came into heat, she's came into heat twice already. I'm waiting for her to come into heat the third time. I hit her with an AI the first time. Did not take. Second time I did a AI and a TCI. Did not hit. This time around, but she is pulling blood, right? So the third time around, I'm just waiting for her to come to the heat, and I'm just gonna do a surgical because at that point, and I've done all the testings. I've done your vaginal culture test on her, and she's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with her. It's just I don't know. It's something about the breed. And I mean that's why people have a lot more unsuccessful rates for English bulldogs. I mean, I have another partner of mine. His name's Blue. He lives in San Antonio, and again, he also has a mini bulldog that we just tried breeding to in September, October, and of course, he didn't hit. He didn't hit neither, and it was a regular AI. I
Hey,
tell him, I'm like, look,
so have y'all ever cleaned her out before? You done that,
yes.
yeah?
So the my female muffin, the second time around when we did the TCI, I went in there and I cleaned her out, and I believe it's Breeder's Hack. Breeder's Hack has this
Yes.
yes, has this vaginal flush. I flushed her out. I pulled it back out. I made sure there was no blood in there. Everything with the camera, still nothing.
I mean, you're hurting my
Hmm.
heart. I'm not gonna lie. Uh,
But that's what people don't understand. I mean, people think like the English Bulldog's price range is like all of a sudden you see a 4,000, 5,000, $6,000 dog. And it's not just because they're trying to make their quick buck out of it. It's just it is very, very hard. I mean, I've bred anything from XLs to poodles to Shih Tzus to Dobermans to Yorkies, and I've never hit none of the. I've always hit all of them dogs. The only dogs I've ever missed is English Bulldogs.
well, maybe that's why their price is pretty steady. They don't seem to fluctuate
Yes.
as violently as the other ones you mentioned, especially
Yeah.
Frenchies.
Hmm. I mean, Frenchies. I think it's just because the market's so saturated. I mean, during COVID, everybody wanted a Frenchie. Everybody was getting a Frenchie. I think honestly, when COVID hit and people were selling dogs for $8,000, $10,000 for a regular fluffy, and everybody was jumping on board because they had their COVID money. I think that's what really hurt the market for the French bulldogs.
Oh,
Actually,
absolutely. All that artificial money in the economy is
yeah,
and
yep,
people, there's too many. There's too many of us folks that's broke, and we're broke because of our bad decision making, bad financial decision making. Anyways,
yep, yep.
yeah, but I
So
mean,
now,
but on the backside of that, I think,
uh
like I've only been doing Frenchies for about 4 years,
yeah,
so like I'm still learning, But as far as the market goes, though, I mean, the supply and demand is pretty universal, no matter what it is, and it would appear that the bubble has burst, and now it's there's a decline, but at some point it's going to level off because you get people that are in it, that were in it just for the money,
yeah.
and then I don't know how many years it's going to take, but once the supply dips back below the demand,
I mean,
prices will stabilize and start to rise again.
I mean, as Kevin likes to say it, right? The big breeders have their clientele, right? Their clientele is always going to be there, and they're always going to get top dollars for it, right? So they already set the. I want to say in the mindset of the French bulldogs, they already kind of set the baseline where you have a newcomer breeder that's buying a French bulldog from, say, John, right? And they come in and buy a dog from John because the market's so saturated at $1,500. They think, hey, $1,500, I could become a breeder. Boom. But nobody really explains to John that have to get a CH section, that you have to get a progesterone test, that you have to buy a stud, so I mean, back in the day, back in the day, back in the day, you think like you just throw them in the backyard and they go at it and you get puppies. It's not like that with French bulldogs. Like, I mean,
Some
I've known
some
people.
people do.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know some
yeah,
people that get it
yeah,
like that, and as far as that explanation, like I've had, I do my own progesterone and stuff
uh
here
huh,
too, and
yeah,
and so I help out select friends, right? And you
yeah,
try in the beginning, like, hey man, I'll do it for you. Really should do it. No, I've always used this dog. He
mm,
tells me he's pretty reliable, and then they
yeah,
miss. And then
yeah,
the next time they come back, and it's like actually having he come back, and we did the testing, and his Frenchie had 12.
yeah. I
Like
mean,
I'll never have
remember
to
back.
argue that again.
Yes.
There's he's sold.
Yeah, no, well, back in the days, I want to say this was like 10, 15 years ago, where progesterone machines weren't as what they are now. Literally, the old school breeders always used to be like, "Oh, at the 10th day, we're breeding her," and it was 10 days. That was like the standard back in the day. 10 days.
Yeah, and then they hit them 4 or 5 times every other day, right? Just keep them
Yep.
covered through the whole deal. But the thing with that is that's great if you have access to that stud.
Mhm.
Now if you're shipping semen, that's gonna get pretty expensive pretty quick.
Yep.
So,
Yep. I mean, back in the day before the progesterone machine, there was this wand, and it was I
oh
never
no,
understood.
no,
Yeah.
I have one because and
Oh, do you?
I run it against my progesterone on one breeding I did. Uh, it was a female. She was. I've never had a dog do that. She went into a cycle, right? And so,
Yeah.
like, we run the progesterone. I think the first time I took it at day 6 or 7, she was like a 7 on a Wanfo.
Uh huh.
And then, I waited 2 days and took it again. And she was a 13 or 14 or something like that. So I did it, skipped a day and come back. She was a 20 something. So I bred
Yeah.
her and and went back to back days, right, and checked her, and she finished out at a 48 or something like that, right. I think my machine stops at 50. It'll go off scale and just
Mm.
say greater than 50. But
Yeah.
it she didn't take, and I was like, what's
Hmm.
going on here? And then
Yep.
literally 2.5 months later, she come back into heat,
Yeah. She was in the split
and
heat.
well, if it was a split heat, she should have never went through ovulation.
Yeah.
And when the number gets above 12 on my machine, like she's in it, and it went, and she finished out just like a normal deal. It's the weirdest thing, and so we when she come back in, I said, man, enough of this. Like something's weird going. And now I will say this: on the first heat that happened, there was one that I did that I thought I screwed up because it was she went from like a 7 to a 38.
Oh wow.
And I was like, that's impossible in like a day, right? And so the next time, I was like, I'm gonna check her every other day and see what's going on here. And she never took that weird spike.
Really?
And I tested, I think it's like 12 times
Yeah.
on that one breeding. And every time I tested, I also tested her with it's called I can't remember what the old school one's called, but Batter Surge makes one now you can buy, but it's the same thing. All it is a resistivity tool,
Yeah. It's
and you
ovulation. It's an ovulation
right. So, but it
probe,
measures the
right?
resistivity of
Yeah.
the mucus on the walls, right?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
you got to put it in there. You got to spin it 3 times and then hit the button. And the key to that whole thing is consistency. Now I'm gonna just tell you, I did it. I was actually talking with another creator online
Hmm.
and doing the comparing, and we were going on live and talking about it. And I did it because I thought I was going, because he swore by it, and I was just going to disprove it. It was like there ain't no way that thing can replace modern
Yeah.
technology. And outside of one reading, like I have a spreadsheet with it on it somewhere in my computer,
Yeah.
but you can watch it tracking. I built a little Excel deal to where it would graft it, and man,
Uh
it is
huh.
so it is uncanny how it tracked. Now I did find out that like you have to be consistent. Like she can't move, and you need
Yeah.
to be the same depth. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes.
There's if she wiggles, it'll mess with the numbers. But like I have it charted, and it was amazing to me. Now I don't know that I would consistently trust that because
Yeah.
of how consistent you have to be, but it does work, or at least it worked
No,
one time.
no,
Now
it does work because I had back when I was living in Chicago. Still, I had this old school bully breeder. I believe his name was Steve, um, and he's the one who had it, and he's the one that. So before this was early 2010s, 12, 13, 14, around that time. And PG machines weren't what they are now, of course. And he had it and he swore by it. And by all means, he was doing the testing. He was doing the testing and he did not miss with that ovulation probe or whatever they're calling it. think it's called like a Dromsky or something like that, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
yeah, yeah,
But you can look, you can find it's another manufacturer now, and they're called Batter
yeah,
Surge.
yeah.
It's either or, but it's the same tool.
Hmm.
I think they just
Yeah, it's
put
like a
different stickers on it, man.
yeah, it's like a
A
knockoff or
Dransky, or
something.
is it
Yeah,
Dronsky or I
yeah,
can't remember.
something like that. But
Yeah,
that he had that, and I swore by you. I probably went to him maybe 3 times, and he did not miss once. And I was like, he even gave me the thing. He's like, "Go, you can go ahead and take it home and let it and work." I was like, "Dude, I don't even understand this thing. Like it's like he's like, yeah, you're just looking for the spike. You're just looking for the spike." I was like, "Well." And I did it and I did it and I was like, I don't see no spike. And I took it back to him and he's like, oh yeah, she's spiked now. I'm like, so I mean, they do work if you really know how to use it.
yeah. You
They
looking
do work.
because there's a climb, right? Like the first 7 days, you'll be like the 500s or something like that, and then it'll climb up.
Yeah,
Once you get up in the near 1600 to 2000, it
yeah,
should start falling. And once you get
yeah,
back to like a 900, I think she's ready, and you start
yeah. I think it
breeding.
was like 1300 or higher to 1600, and then they dropped down to
Yeah,
yeah. Yep, yep. Sure enough. Yeah,
yeah.
it's just weird. It's just weird. That machine is just like a big old knob. Like
I
it's
did the I did the vaginal cell test too.
oh, did you?
Yeah, I did that through all that because I wanted to know like if which ones was reliable, just for my own. Because like I said, I'm learning, and
Yeah.
like I'm gonna be honest with you, that's easy on the dog, but that's a lot of effort on my part. Like you can run a PG test faster, and you
Yes.
could for sure use that batter surge faster than you taking the swab, putting it on one slide, dipping it in one dye, then letting it dry, dipping it in another dye, letting it dry, and then dipping it and rinsing it off with water, looking under a
Yeah.
microscope for cornflakes. I I, I admire people that have that kind of patience and ability, but that is not me. I have ADD and my
No.
attention span don't last that long.
Yeah, I looked into it and I was like, after I was like, no, I'm not. I don't have the patience to do all
But,
this looking through the microscope and counting the cells and no, it's
well,
no.
that girl, like I said, everybody I talked to, they would say, "Oh, she had a split heat," and I'm like, "Man, but like that's not what a split heat is by my understanding. Like that means they would go up to the point of ovulation and then stop and fall off, and then in a couple months or a week or whatever it is, they'll come back and they'll go on and go through ovulation. That's a split
Well,
heat.
I think it might be a split heat because I now that I remember, I did have a girl that did that also. Actually, the my buddy Blues girl did that before this time. So I went to go test her, and I believe she was at first test she was like at a 4, and then all of a sudden she dropped to a 1, and then of course she spiked to like a 18, and then she came back to a 9, and after that 9 she just skyrocketed to like a 28, then a 36 and up, right? And then not even but the weird part was this was within like less than a 10-day span of me testing her daily because it was so inconsistent. But we bred her and everything. Sure enough, she didn't take, but I want to say less than 2 weeks, then less than 2 months later, she came into heat again. And
Uh,
then yeah, and then we bred her and she got pregnant.
Did she always do that?
No, it was just that one
So
time.
so so this dog in particular I'm speaking of, she did the where she didn't take, right, and then she come back in a
Yeah.
couple. That's like 2.5 months later. She did take, and then
Yeah.
while she still like, well, I had weaned her kids, but she hadn't
Yeah.
even bounced all the way back yet. You know what I'm saying? And she come back into heat again, and I mean I didn't breed her. I assumed that was fake. This
Yeah.
because she had. I don't think the babies was 8 to 10 weeks old, maybe,
Hmm.
and she was in heat again. I was like, I don't believe that. I still
Yeah.
hadn't bred her. I don't trust her.
Yeah. I don't know. Have you heard of that powder that regulates the females cycles?
No.
So there's two powders. Yeah, and I was on a live last night. And we were doing like some stack offs, and I actually told because a lot of people, I was one of the dogs was like a little nano, and I asked him about if she had have you bred her. He's like, no, she's about to come. She came into heat like at 6 months, and she's almost a year and a half, and she hasn't came into heat. And I was like, well, did you have you heard about? And I forgot what it's. So there's two different powders. One is called Breathe Heat. So basically, it's some powder when you know. your female is supposed to come into heat. You're supposed to give it to her 1 or 2 month, one between 1 and 2 months before she's supposed to come to her cycle. And it's a powder that you give her to her food. You give it to her food, and then it basically cleans everything out, and it makes her start going into her cycle. And it works because I've tried that one in particular. It's called Brie Heat, but it's sold out on Amazon. That one works because I've used it myself. But a buddy of mine told me this other one to use it because it's like it has like cranberry abstracts and all this other stuff. He's like, it's organic. Try it out. So I was on the live yesterday and I told people because I was about to order it for my female. And I told people, I'm like, hey, by the way, make sure if your girls are female. And then I had a whole bunch of people hit me up. He's like, hey, what is it called? Zoe? So I send it. This morning, I go on Amazon, try to order it. It's sold out. So I was
Nah,
like, man, yeah.
should have
So I was
ordered
like,
it before you
man,
sent it, right?
yeah. That's what my buddy said.
You
He's like,
think
why didn't you?
you think that would be quite helpful with the English bulldog?
Yes, yes,
Yes,
100% yes. Because so I'm sure you've heard of the heat shot, also, right?
I have. I'm never gonna do it because if I gotta work that hard to get her to come in, like, you know, if you were to keep something off at it, they tend to follow. Like if you
Yes.
the,
Well,
the girls I
here's the
got that come from a big litter have big litters. The girls that I got that
yeah.
like so I if I got to work that hard at it, like that dog just wasn't meant to be in a
Yes.
program, and she needs to be a pet home.
So I've used it, and anybody who ever tells me about the heat shot, I tell them 100% no, 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 no. I had an English bulldog, of course. She came into heat one time, and she was supposed to be 3 years old. So at that time, I was like, all right. I gave her the heat shot. She came into heat. Came into heat. She got pregnant and absorbed the puppies. After she did all that, never came into heat after that again.
Wow.
Never. And that's why I tell people. I was like, dude, no, don't even try it. And I tell people about this powder all the time. It's called Breed Heat. There's like a border collie on the bottle itself. I highly recommend for you to use it if you are having problems with that female because I have used it and I had success with that one in particular. Now the other one comes back into stock. I'll try that one out too.
Well,
Yeah, but
I don't have a problem trying something organic, but like
mhm.
I don't want to chemically alter the dog, I guess.
Yeah, no, there's another company I believe that's I think it's called I forgot what it's called, but they have something similar, which I was looking at it today. I don't know if you've heard that company. It's like a mom and pop pet shop called Raw and Paul.
Mm-mm.
They have something like that too. I think it says called like Want Litter or Litter Us or something like that, and it's to regulate a female cycle also. So they have it in stock, and I was about to order it today, but I wanted to see if that other one came on stock before I ordered it. There is some stuff to regulate the growth cycle, and it's more powder form than actually injecting a female, and that's had success with the powder form. So
Well, I got a couple selfish questions in because like I said, I recently, well, it's been almost a year now, but I got that English, and like what what's a trait or something, what would be a trait or a behavior or something with that breed that would be like a no-go, like if you see this on the dog, I don't know, screwed in tail, whatever, like you just
uh
run away
so
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 fast.
for me in particular is, and this is just me, right? My personally, because I've had dogs when I first started, and it was just the ears, right? They look like Dracula ears. That's just something that turns me off out of an English bulldog. Like the ears that are standing up that look kind of like Frenchies but pointy.
Oh yeah, they're supposed to be
That
rosebud, right? And they do that.
yeah,
They have a lot of ear
yes,
problems if they're not like that, right?
yep. So that. It's for me. It's just appearance, right? That's just me. Like me, for some reason, I'm so traumatized with that look from the beginning of my years. I'm like, no. As soon as I see a dog with that, I'm like, yeah, no, this dog got a pet home. And
Well,
that and a high rear.
a high rear.
Yes, I mean bulldogs are supposed to have a good top line and supposed to have a good a rear, but not where it looks like a Nike swoosh.
Yeah, that would probably contribute to some pooling, I would imagine.
Yes, definitely, 100%. So that's my theory of the English bulldogs, because the mini English bulldogs, of why they're having issues with pulling, is because their front legs are so short and they're so small. When their back legs come about, everything's just draining back into them.
Well, I wonder if that contributes to other problems like pyrometry or anything like that with more frequency in that breed. I don't know, but
Well, well, this the
it's
female that I had. I've only had one female that was pulling from an English bulldog, and I did catch it the second time. But I'm sure she was pulling the first time, and I've never noticed any pyometra on my female.
yeah.
And
Well,
at,
it was
yeah, and
just
that
that was a random thought. Just so
yeah,
I just
yeah,
let
no,
that.
no, I know, but it is a concern that people do say that if you don't clean them out, that blood basically just sitting in there, right? And it does cause of infection. I mean, it is a known fact for that to happen. So, I mean, if you do, and me, when I AI a dog, I make sure I pull back to see if any, it could be any breed, make sure I don't see or I don't pull any blood back, because if I do pull blood back, then I have to basically put the AI syringe with the semen down and make sure that they're actually fully flushed. I always do that to every single one of my breedings, actually, just to make sure that they're not pulling any blood. And man, I tell you, this female, and it might sound disgusting to you, but this female, when I pulled blood, it was probably over 80 cc's of blood that I pulled from her.
It's not disgusting, but man, I feel like she might be dehydrated. Like
Yeah,
she
no,
needs
it
she needs
was.
some iron or something, man.
Yeah, so I mean, you do. Everybody knows how you do AIs, right? You put the straw, you put the syringe, and you pull it up at. I
Well,
literally kept pulling syringes, and at the point where I just pulled the syringe out and left the straw in, and it was just dripping like nonstop. It was to that point. And
wow.
that's when I, after she didn't take that time, that's when I took her to go get a virginal culture test to make sure everything was okay with her, and the vet said she's perfectly fine to be bred. So I don't know. These dogs sometimes have a whole plan of their own.
Well, yeah, I mean it's life. You're not gonna you
Hmm.
can't all you can do on any of this stuff is you line it up to where the percentages are in your favor and hope it
Yeah.
hits right. Like it's that's you can only do what you can do and
Yep.
and let it ride. Well,
Yeah.
so let me ask you this. So let's go. Let's talk about the show a little bit.
Yeah. We kind
It,
of drifted off of it.
ah, it's all right. There ain't no rules here, man. Ain't no rules. It's all good conversation.
Yeah.
On the show, like
Yeah.
so, like on the financial side, just to start there.
Yeah.
So, like in the beginning, when you find the venue, like how
Yeah.
do you determine like how many booths you need and at what price and what do the booths cover as far as expenses and the door cover? I don't want to get too if you ain't
No. No.
comfortable.
Yeah. So this was my first show from start to finish that I actually threw. Right. I have helped out with numerous shows, and it's kind of a thumb rule that you're wanting your booths to pay for the venue, basically your venue and your guests, right? Your DJs, your MCs, your judges, because I mean, honestly, that's something that a lot of people don't take into consideration. I mean, like the show that we just threw, right? Um, our Frenchie Bulldog judge is from Myrtle Beach, right? That's an expense. We had to pay for his flight, we had to pay for his rental, we had to pay for his hotel. Uh, and the other judge for the ICBR, Sierra, we had to play. She came from Florida. Flight, hotel, her fee. So that's what people don't take into consideration. Uh, every single person in that building that was judging or a MC or a DJ basically stood the night, right? So
Right.
I mean, in a rough estimate, what does a night at a hotel cost you? hundred
Well, I
bucks?
know. Yeah, I was gonna say down there it was between 80 and $100
Yeah,
when for me.
yeah, let's just say $100, right? But when we're flying in 8 to 12 people, and say they fly in on a Friday, right? They're not going to fly in after the show, so so we're basically playing the hotel for Friday and the hotel for Saturday. So that right there itself, just hotels, is $200 with no taxes or anything
Yeah, per person, right?
per person. So that's another thing that people don't see partaking into the show, right? Trophy wise, uh, I make trophies, so that was not a so much big expense like if somebody had to order the trophies. I mean, if I was making those orders of trophies for a particular show, right? There was 92 categories plus stack offs and everything else. That was probably close to 100 trophies that I made. I would say that easily would have been a minimum of $5,000 right there.
Well,
I mean,
I'm gonna just go ahead and tell you now that my son,
mhm.
one of my sons, placed third in a class, and I think
Yeah.
he actually liked the medal more than his Frenchie Bowl trophy he got for junior handler. Like he
and
that
and
because
that's the thing.
that ribbon.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, everything is appreciated, and no
Yes.
disrespect to
Yeah.
anybody that throws a show, but the that medal, like that kid,
Hmm.
like for me it wouldn't matter, but
Yeah.
for him, that medal was way
Hmm.
better than any ribbon he would have got.
Yes, of course. I mean, and that's so honestly, we all done it. I don't know how long you've been going to shows, but I've been going to shows for quite a bit now. I still have trophies that are sitting in my car because they're not something like it's not of my taste, right? And to be nice
Oh,
about it,
oh no,
right?
we've been to three. Well, we went to several shows without dogs for the last few years to just kind of get an
Mhm.
idea, but we've only showed in three shows so far.
Yes, and you could tell the people who really put their thought into their hardware and the people who really don't put their thought into the hardware. And that's one thing I was telling Sean is like, yes, dude, this is X amount of dollars. This is a little bit more, dude. I'm like, but would you feel bad if you got a third place and this is what was handed to you? And he's like, no. I'm like, I wouldn't either. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm like, the ICBR part is the ICBR part, right? It's a sanction show, so that's particularly all ribbons, right? And let me tell you, ribbons are not cheap neither. Ribbons are not cheap, uh, but that's one thing. So I mean, I think I was talking to a gentleman at the show. I want to say it was a OTK media group. They were like trying to do like a little thing, and I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah, I've seen
just
them. I've
yeah,
seen them
yeah.
online.
Yeah, and I was just like, you know how people just talk like, "Oh, show me another show that has hardware like this." But we were just goofing off and this and that. But I mean, honestly, that like from, I mean, I went was two other shows that I'd went to. One show was down in the RGV, and I highly recommend for people to go if he throws a 2.0. It's called Border Wars. He was not only handing out beautiful trophies, but he was also giving away cash prizes for first place and best in breed. But his hardware was top tier also. But that's another thing. Like I won those trophies and I brought it home and I did actually put it up on my shelf. Those are trophies I want to keep and those are trophies that I'm proud of. Now when you go spend say $500 on a VIP booth and you're taking home a 3D printed dog standing on a, I don't know, whatever, on a plate or whatever, right?
Well, you
You're
beat me
not
to
gonna
this. I was going to ask you how you felt about the three because we're so new. I'll be honest with you. Like I
Yeah,
used the Frenchie Bowl as an example, but because
yeah,
it was it isn't
yes,
3D printed, but I mean it wasn't that he was ashamed of or didn't appreciate it. It's just that metal for whatever
yes.
reason, yeah, like he just it was more appealing to him.
So
And,
the trophies I make, they are 3D printed. They are 3D printed, but the thing that I do differently, and I don't want to get well, I
well, we didn't
don't
win
care.
any first place, so we don't know about them. You understand? It was
Yeah, yeah.
we got the one looked like the second. My other boy won second in the best blue, and
Oh,
he
the glass one.
yeah.
Yeah,
It looked like something you get for an Emmy. You know,
yeah, yeah,
you could
yeah,
literally beat a man to death with that thing.
yeah,
It's pretty
yeah.
heavy.
I mean, it's so 3D trophies is the thing. If you prepare it and you make it presentable the way how a trophy is supposed to look presentable, I have no issue with it because I make them myself. But now, if you're just 3D printing it and spray painting it and gluing it on a plaque, that's where
I
That's
I
that's where the problem
personally,
happens.
I personally prefer plaques, but I understand. I guess it's from I used to drag race, so like plaques were pretty normal,
Yeah,
and so like I don't necessarily have a problem. I kind of like that. I think they hang up, they present better, they're easier to
yeah,
clean, but I think I'm the minority in this dog game with that preference.
yeah. I mean, everybody loves June Williams's hardware because I mean, just because it's so shiny and the way it's presented, right? I mean,
Well, the
there's
weight of
rainbow
that
colored
show,
paint.
though, like if you wanted
Yeah,
that show, like I mean, that's one of the premier shows each year, right? Like
yeah,
that's a big deal.
yes, yeah, that too. But I mean, yeah. Do you plan on going to the jungle?
I don't know. I don't know that I have anything exotic enough to take to the jungle, but I do plan on going.
Be prepared for a very long day. That's. I mean, it's a good show, but it's a very long day. Very long day. I want to say the first jungle that I went to, um, people say, "Oh, you got to get there early because you're going to be waiting in line for hours." Blah blah blah. We were there at 8 o'clock in the morning. It was me and my kids. We were there at 8 o'clock in the morning. Literally, it was close to 6 o'clock. Me and my kid have not ate. We left. We left, and I believe we went to go eat. Oh, I forgot where we went to go eat. We went to go eat and came back, and the fun show still hadn't started.
Wow.
that year, I believe, that year, I believe they finished in the parking lot. They were handing out the best in show in the
I want to
parking lot.
say I heard about that.
Mm-hmm.
No,
So I mean,
I went to Off
but
the Leash. I did not go to Rumble in the Jungle last year.
I went to all last year, like October, right? Off leash.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to off leash. It was a good show. Um, to me, what I would do different, and again, I love the kids, nothing against the kids, but if I'm going to the dog show, I don't need a halftime show. I'm trying to go there, do my thing, work with my dogs, and go home.
Right.
And so, I mean,
It did get a
again,
little bit and it was loud. Oh, that was one of the things
yeah,
I talked to you
yes,
about your show is how y'all
yeah,
maintain the music level and the volume in that building like
yeah,
perfectly. In my like
yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah, so when we started the fun show, so for ICBR, the sanction part, right? Sanction part was supposed to start at 11. 100%. We had it down. We had it dialed down. It had to start at 11 because we were going to run the fun show on both. Sure enough, people didn't get there on time. The representative of ICBR told me, "Hey, you have X amount of dogs. You want a great show? We need X amount of dogs." So I'm like, "All right, how long? How much longer do you need? Give me an hour." All right. An hour came back. You ready to run it? No, you only have X amount of whatever, right? At the end of the day, Mike Gallegos called me to the ring. He's like, "Hey, Zo, we need to front." It was like two or 2:30. He's like, "Hey, we got to start this up, man." I'm like, "I 100% agree with you." He's like, "What do you want to do?" I was like, so they were just finishing Frenchies on the sanctioned side of the ICBR show, and they were going to start English Bulldogs. So I told Mike Gallegos and DJ Acid, I'm like, "All right, we're starting with the Frenchies here." So as soon as I want to say, as soon as Mike Gallegos, hey, you were probably there when the fun show started. He turned it up. Like the beginning of that fun show, he had everybody on their feet, and man, I had the ICBR people complaining to me so bad. They can't hear my number. They literally had to stop, and it's not funny. It's funny now that I'm thinking about it. They literally had to stop the middle of the ICBR show because everybody left that ring to come join the fun show because how Mike Gallegos had just turned it up. And then after that, after it all settled down, that's when we went back to, hey, I went back to DJ Asic. I'm like, "Hey man, I need you to turn it down a little bit. We need to give the sanction part of their respect and the quiet that they need actually." So I mean there was about 5 or 6 times I probably went up to DJ Asic like, "Hey, a little bit lower." Because that's one thing that me and my wife always discuss. Like as soon as you walk into a dog show, you just get this instant headache because you just hear people screaming on the mic and just music blasting. right?
Yeah, and you
And
have
that's
to,
what I
and you're all day yelling at each other, like
yes,
to
yes.
hear, or like me, I worked in the oil field for 25 years. Man, like I can't hear anyways. I'll say a thousand times during a dog show.
Hmm. Yep. But yeah, I kept going to DJ Acid to make sure you turn it down because I mean, people are there to enjoy themselves. People are there to actually make the connection of the people that you don't know. I mean, we had a breeder from the UK there that I mean, maybe somebody else never gets to meet him there or never has the opportunity to meet him at another show, right? I mean, that's the connection that you want to go do booth to booth and make sure that you shake everybody's hands and make sure to be like, hey, nice, beautiful dog or whatever, little short talk here and there. But I wanted to make sure everybody was able to have a conversation without having to scream over the music. So I'm glad to hear when you did call and be like, hey man, the music was you could hear the music and it was perfectly fine, but I did not once have to ask the person to repeat himself because of the music.
It
So
was yeah,
that
it was like it was something that I think everybody could learn from this throwing shows is and I understand like there's different atmospheres, but like it's like you said, if
yes.
you're all day just getting pounded
Mhm.
with that,
Yeah.
it's fatiguing by itself.
Yeah, I mean, even if so, if you're saying it's fatiguing for yourself, imagine a dog that's not used to music or a
Exactly.
person yelling on the microphone. I mean, first of all, it could be the dog's first show, right? Or it could have some anxiety issues. Bumping music and yelling on the microphone is not going to it's not going to help that dog situation out either. So, I mean, yeah, I try to make it a point to make it good enough for everybody to hear, but not overpowering. So that's good. That's good feedback. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Okay. So, and also we do need to cover this. No show is without controversy, and although yours does seem to have been, there was a
Yeah,
question raised about a post that Kevin
yeah,
saw, and turns out that it wasn't quite as explained. So if you want to go ahead and clean that up and
yeah. So
and explain how that was not portrayed in the correct light, now's your
so
time.
okay. So the post I believe Kevin was talking about was the first two stack offs in the beginning of the show.
Yeah, the free
Those stack
classes.
Yeah, there was two free classes that me and my partner went ahead and basically donated the trophies because of I had made extras just in case, and I had ordered extras just in case. So those free classes weren't even supposed to be free. Like we literally made the count. We made sure we had enough for all the classes, and then these were left over. So basically, it was like just impromptu. Like I gave those trophies and those plaques to DJ Astic, and he had announced, "Hey, we're having the free stack off now. Everybody who wants to compete, go ahead and come into,
Yeah. Is that
go ahead
common?
and come."
Is is
Uh,
is that common? Because I'm
it,
gonna be honest with you, I haven't seen it before, and
so it's common to throw the free stack off, but it's not common to give full hardware on the free stack off.
oh, okay. Because I was gonna say that
Yeah,
that
yeah,
benefited my boys and my dogs greatly because we're such novices
yeah,
that they
yeah,
kind of got a dry run at it. You know,
yeah.
not to cut you
So
off, but I just wanted to make
yeah,
yeah,
no, no,
people
you're
should do that more.
yeah. So the controversy was that so our junior handler, Ari Rodriguez, was our junior handler judge, and she did compete in that free stack off. And the controversy was that her kennel and her group had sponsored that category, and
Yes.
that is false. Yeah, that is false information. We had zero sponsorships of the trophies. The only sponsorships of trophies were the men's stack off and the ladies stack off, and those were sponsored by Chono's Candy from the RGV, and Stackley. Right, Stackley had sponsored the junior handler jacket, but those were the only sponsors that we had for trophies. So I believe he mentioned the Frenchy Cartel had sponsored that individual stack off, but no, I'm here to.
Yeah, I think that came
th-
from the fact that I guess he presented the trophy for that, or one of them. There was a group of folks over there together, and I
yeah,
understand they were two different names or kennels.
Yeah.
But I guess that's where that
So
confusion come
so
in, or that
yeah.
accusation come in.
So I believe the kennel that Kevin was talking about, the Frenchie Cartel, they're based out of Lubbock, Texas. And the other kennel that he was confusing them with is called Animal Frenchie Cartel, and they're based out of San Antonio, Texas. But that gentleman's name's J.R. Redondo.
Well,
That's
now, in the spirit of full disclosure, like I'm not gonna
Mhm.
put that off on Kevin. Like Kevin heard about the controversy, and then he
Mhm.
asked me about it, and he described the situation, and I said, well,
Yeah,
and I told him, well, the only thing I seen there was that, and I don't know any of the people, right? So
yeah,
like I'm just
yeah,
giving him the guy was wearing a jersey with his name on it, and
yeah.
I did know Amherst and like her dog.
And even that gentleman from the Alamo Frenchy cartel, he wasn't even a judge for the free stack off. The judge for the free stack off was our official French bulldog judge Ron English too. So
See
just to
what
let every
happens when people just read too much into something.
yeah, but just so anybody knows that if I were s- if we were supposed to have a sponsor, we would not let that sponsor enter that category. I mean, I had my own production of English Bulldog in the building. My partner actually purchased a ringside booth, and he brought my production in the building, and I did not allow him to put that dog in the ring just for situations like this. So to answer everybody's questions and answer all the rumors that's going on, no, there was no sponsorship for a trophy, and no, the person that sponsored the trophy did not win any hardware.
Well, I'm glad that's cleared up, and like I
Yeah.
said, I felt
Hmm.
bad that we were even part of progressing that misinformation, and I don't know how
Ben,
you verify a source on the internet, and we are talking like this is not NBC News, so like
yeah,
there is a responsibility that we have not to forward bad
yeah.
information, but man, the internet just ruined everything. Like I don't know how you verify, because something like that can just take root,
I mean,
and you'll have
but
45 comments,
yes.
and nobody knows what they're talking about.
But
Obviously,
here's the thing. But here's the thing. And everybody knows that me and Sean were the hosts. You could have just tagged me on that post and be like, "Hey, Zo, what's really going on?" You know what I'm saying? And I never. The first time I heard about it is when I was listening to your podcast. I was like, I was so confused because you were talking about Frenchie Bo, and then all of a sudden you're like, "Well, we'll have Zo Lopez, and he could clarify it." I was like, "Wait, that happened on our show?" So, yeah. But I mean, again, if they weren't talking good or bad about the show, it means it wasn't a good show, right? So, I mean, any any feedback, I guess every feedback is good feedback at the end of the day, I guess, right?
yeah. I mean, like I said though, but it should be fair.
Yes, yes, and I 100, and I didn't, and so at that particular moment, I didn't even know I didn't even know Ari was in the building yet, because literally she walked in, because I wasn't even in the ring yet. She walked in, and I honestly think she walked in and walked straight into the ring. I didn't even know she was in the building yet because I hadn't even said hi to her yet.
It would it wouldn't have mattered anyways, because I'll be honest with you, even under those conditions, like that dog that she's
Yeah.
got, like you couldn't. I guess the
No.
only argument would be etiquette. It wasn't going to be
Yes.
results because I mean,
Yeah.
Sheamus is
Yeah.
Sheamus.
Shame. Yeah. Seamus is Seamus. I mean, I don't see any dog really out there on a stack off that's going to beat that dog. I mean, unless it's like a grand champion that everybody knows or something like that. But that dog is, you place the lead on it and you place it directly lining throughout his back. He's going to stand there like a statue and just look at you until you tell him to go.
Yeah, yeah, you can definitely tell that they put time into it and the
Oh yeah.
training of that dog.
Yeah. Yep. So that's Zo Lopez here, clearing up the rumors that no sponsorship
Well,
won
I'm
that
glad
free
to hear
stack
that, and
off.
I enjoyed the show. And if you do it again next year, like I'll be part of
Yeah.
that too, because
I
like I said,
yeah,
we
I appreciate.
enjoyed it, and the fact that they got any hardware at all, you know,
Yeah.
they
No,
you probably couldn't keep them away next year.
that's I appreciate it. But yeah, So I told Sean, give the old man a good 2 weeks so my bones could heal, and then we could start testing 2.0. So here shortly, maybe have to run it through the old lady, but maybe it's a big maybe that we're running a 2.0. But I mean, I I with the results of the show, I was very happy. I believe from the pictures that I saw, because that whole day was a big blur to me from start to finish. Um, everybody enjoyed the show. There was some very great moments that our photographer Sierra
Something's
captured.
going on with your
And,
connection, boss.
oh my god, can you
It's,
hear me?
yeah, it's better now.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I said no. There was some great moments that our photographer Sierra captured, and where kids were enjoying themselves. Even the parents and the breeders were in there participating, smiling. So I mean, it all has to make sense. We have some time, so right now we're gonna relax a little bit and then really. I don't like to do anything fast. So if I'm gonna throw a 2.0, it's gonna be not bigger, because I mean I don't want my little show is good enough for me. I don't need to take off with it like as a jungle or off the leash or anything like that. I'm okay with it staying small, because
Well,
I could just imagine I could just imagine the big shows, the stress they go through.
how important, speaking of those shows, like how important is it to for you to pick the timing to where you're not interfering or making people choose between your show, or because if you get real close to one of those
Yes.
shows, like, man, like people like me, like I got to choose if it's not spaced out, because booths cost, at
Yeah.
those
Of
shows they're
course.
five
Yeah.
hundred dollars just to get in the door for a booth. And if
Mm,
you're doing 2 or 3 shows in a month, like you're talking about $1,000, $1,500 just
yes.
to have a spot. That's not counting the travel and the food and everything.
So I want to say the last 2.5 years, I've been traveling to shows. Right. We went to Vegas, Alabama, Chicago. Where we went, California. Yeah, California. And so we've been traveling throughout, and I went, of course, oh good Facebook. I went through Facebook and I just typed in like dog shows in January, and I wanted to see how many dog shows was in January. So I wrote it down. I was like, okay, there's 2 dog shows in January throughout the last 3 years. Dog shows in February. Oh, February, February, March, April, and May. Oh my God, people love to throw dog shows. I'll tell you that much right now. So I went month to month, seeing when's the day where a lot of people don't throw dog shows, and January actually was one of the days that does not come up. The only big dog show on January is usually Coachella.
Yeah,
And
it was it
it's
was right before yours, wasn't it?
yeah, yeah. And
I
I
think
and
there
I
was
was
enough
planning.
distance. I think there was enough distance, miles
Yeah.
between those two that y'all probably weren't stepping on each
Hmm.
other.
Yeah, there was another dog show. There was another dog show that exact same day, as ours in Texas, but it was in Midland. So
Oh
I mean
yeah,
it
that was
was
a TCRB show, huh?
yeah, so it wasn't so I don't know who posted the date first. It was either us or TCBR, but I mean we didn't, and our intentions was never to throw the same dog show the same day as them. I mean, because I mean, there's enough for everybody to enjoy the dog community. There's no reason for us to separate ourselves and try to go head to head or whatever anybody wants to say. But there was no, we did not do that purposely. We did not try to step on anybody's toes. I felt like there was still a good distance, and I believe we announced Bully Decks early March. So so
Oh,
we had yeah,
oh, I
so
could
we
just
announced
I could just tell you from a an attendee's point of view
it, yeah,
that maybe that might be a big deal of not stepping on toes, but there's enough distance between y'all.
yeah,
Like I was never gonna drive 10 hours to Midland from where I live,
yeah,
but I drove 5 hours to
yes.
Gonzales. You know what I'm saying? So
So
like, they you didn't take any. I don't believe you took much business, or they
yeah,
took much business from you, just because they're. I mean, Texas is a big place, and Midland
yeah,
to
that
Gonzales is a hike.
Yeah, and I mean, we were deciding when we were actually starting to throw the show, we were deciding where to throw it. So it was either going to be San Antonio, the Valley, the RGV, or somewhere in between. And all of a sudden, I used to work in Seguin, Texas, and all of a sudden I started looking around the area in Seguin, and that venue just jumped out on me. Um, and I felt like that was very, again, there's nothing to do in Gonzalez. That was my probably the number one complaint of my judges and everybody else. Like, man, Zoe, there's nothing to do there. I'm like, man, you
Well,
got Austin an hour.
that's
You got
good though,
Austin an
because you
hour
know
away.
they're locked in now. They got nothing to
Yeah.
do. They're just locked in on the dog show, man. It's
Yeah, but I kept telling him, I'm like, man, Austin's an hour away. You want something to do, drive to Austin for an hour, go enjoy yourself, and you could come back and you'll be all right. I mean, I tell them, I'm like, the highway that you take to Austin, you can go 85 to 95 miles an hour and nobody will tell you anything. So that's how we landed in Gonzales, Texas. I mean, I'm the support from the community, like the dog community from the Gonzales. I didn't even know there was that many breeders in Gonzales. Like I had so many people just from Gonzales themselves attend the show, and I had people tell me like, man, there's dog show that's been thrown in Gonzales, but this been the biggest one. So they're like, we're hoping you come back and throw a 2.0
well,
and
I hope you do
but
too.
it's
And I'm gonna be honest with you. If you throw a 2.0, like I'm
yeah,
coming back with these with the EAs and the pandas.
yeah,
I wish
yeah,
I had a brung. You know, I have a female that I believe is A+, and I
yeah.
wish I'd have brung her. You know, myself in retrospect, but
Yeah.
she's still
I
kind of
mean,
young, so I left her at the house.
yeah. So I mean, another thing that I did differently with Bully Dex too is because so when you go to dog shows, is it mainly in Texas with your kids?
Yeah, right now, yeah, like I said, we kind of went to made it a point to go to different registries. Like we've been to a
Yeah.
couple of ABKCs. I haven't been
Yeah.
to a TCRB, but we're going to go to that triple one in Oklahoma in
Oh, okay.
May, I think.
Yeah.
And you know, we had plans to go there, and I wanted to come to your show because I wasn't
Yeah.
even aware of that registry when I seen that flyer. Uh,
Yeah.
so you know, we kind of just trying to figure out where we'd fit in,
Yeah.
where we're
So
comfortable.
so the reason why I brought ICBR, me and a buddy of mine traveled to Alabama, and I actually signed up for the registry, and they were very welcoming there. And I did go ahead and show my dogs underneath there, and they all the comments, all the feedback from them when you're asking them, hey, what can I do better? They were 100% transparent, and I like that of them. A thing with the other registries around here is that, like, it seems to me like registry, you could see it every weekend or every other weekend, right? So
Hmm.
if you miss, say for instance, you miss whatever shows coming up from that, right? If you miss, say, let's say the Oklahoma Triple, right? Let's say you miss that show. You know, in about a month they're gonna have another show, and it's gonna be not the same, but the same judges, the same people, the same, you know. So I felt like bringing people other than, so all of our judges, other than the bully judge Paco Mendoza, were judges outside of Texas. That's it. That was my number one rule when I was talking to Sean. I was like, we're not having anybody from Texas come in here and judge because everybody talks about politics, everybody talks about this, everybody knows everybody in Texas. It is huge, but trust me, I've gone to a lot of Texas shows, and it's the same people in every single Texas show. Nothing against that because that's their dog community, and I love it, and I love the Texas dog community, but it's the same people. It's just a different show host and different hardware, but
Well,
the same result.
how do you think that what do you think you can do as a show host to entice more people, a bigger variety? Like what do you think they're doing? And like I ain't saying trash nobody, but
Yeah.
like what do you think like the worst thing that TCBR is doing that they could improve, or that you think you should do differently with your show that
So,
that would
so
entice people like me, because like I
So,
said, I'd never heard about. We were friends on Facebook, by the way,
yeah, I know.
on one of my, but I had no idea who you were,
Uh-huh.
and like I just kind of stumbled onto your show, and we decided
Yeah.
we'd go check it out. Like,
So what? So if say for instance, if I'm planning a 2.0 out, right? I want to give the community something that you will not see every weekend or every year, right?
right,
Like like consistency is good hardware, right? Everybody loved the hardware, so I would not change anything about that. Everybody loved the vibes, the whole family vibes and everything like that. Everybody other than my judges liked the venue, so why change the venue up? The only thing is there was no complaints about the judges, right? But it's like watching a rerun, right? You already know what that judge likes. Why am I bringing him back again for year two, right?
right,
But but in that but still thinking, right? I still have to give the Texas people something different. So I'm not and I can't say this, right? Maybe I will, maybe I won't bring back the same judges. But if I don't bring back the same judges, I'm gonna bring back a judge outside of Texas that you don't see every weekend again, right? That's known in the community, of course, right? Because Ron English and Ivan DeFazio, that's the English Bulldog judge from Chicago. You had Sierra Ramsey and ICBR. You had Scott Mosley from ICBR also, and you had Paco Mendoza. And Paco Mendoza is a Texas judge, right? That's the only one that was a Texas judge, but he doesn't judge as frequent as the other judges here in Texas. So that's one thing I will try to give the community because I show a lot, right? And one thing I know is, all right, this, and I'll look at somebody's show and be like, oh, she's judging or he's judging. Yeah, I'll go support, but I'm not gonna go ahead and enter the X 10 to 20 categories as I know this judge is fair and will give everybody a fair chance. Does that make sense?
it does. And you mentioned entering so many categories. I'd like to say that the pricing, your pricing was very good.
Hmm.
It was. Like we didn't have I entered 10 categories, like 5 each for my
Yeah.
sons, right?
Yes.
And so like it
Yes.
was it was, you didn't break the bank in the, to get the booth and get in the building. Like it
Yes.
wasn't I didn't get
Yes.
robbed. I
Yes.
felt
And
like it
and
was
and
very fair on the pricing.
yes, and that's one thing. Like everybody says it, right? You take pieces here and there from show hosts. That pricing of the show I actually got from the EB judge Ivan DeVaggio because I attended his show last year in Chicago, and he did that $25 each or five for 100. I mean, who if you're gonna buy two categories, you might as well just spend $100 and you're basically getting one for free, right? I
Right.
mean, so I mean, and then I mean, some people will love it, some people will hate it because it just, I guess, sets the trend of how other people should be pricing their shows. Because honestly, I don't believe here in Texas, I have not seen somebody price their show five for 100.
No,
I mean, that's
I used well. I shouldn't speak on it because I've been to a very limited. I've competed in a
Mhm.
very limited amount, but no, that was the first time I experienced that.
Yeah. So I mean,
No,
the
no,
thing is,
well, it is worth saying too. I don't mean to cut you off, but it is
yeah,
worth. The two previous shows was the Frenchie Bowl and the oh man, I'm drawing a blank right now. It was the
off the leash, off the
no, we
leash.
we just went to that one. We
Oh,
showed in
okay.
the
Oh,
the one right before Frenchie Bowl 2 weeks before. They're not going to
the
do
hollow
it.
the Halloween one.
Yes.
Yes,
What
Emmanuel, EBC.
it was. I mean, it was a fun show. We got lucky. We won. One of my
Yeah,
dogs got best standard, and the other one got
yeah,
best Merle. And
yeah.
but I can't remember. That's so disrespectful. But I
I
just
know who
can't.
I know who you I know who you're talking about, and I can't think of that show neither. But
It
it was
starts
it
with an
was
S. Starts with an S.
I know his kennel's called EBC.
Right, but that's
ABC.
the
Yeah,
show was it was something else started with the S, but I digress.
yeah.
I don't think they're even going to have it anymore, from what I understood.
Well, I believe that show was postponed. So that show was supposed to be the year prior to 2025, and they had canceled 2024, and they rescheduled it for a year later.
So there's a chance that it'll come back.
Wow, probably as the show goes.
Well, I mean,
No,
I
I've
enjoyed
never.
it. I thought it was a pretty good sized show too. Like as far as the people that were there versus the
Yeah.
size of the building, I thought was pretty proportionate. Now, unfortunately, that was the one that the fight broke out.
Oh, was that the one that the
That
fight
was the
broke
one
out?
we had. See, I'm gonna tell you
Mm,
how new we were. So we went to that show with two of our dogs, and
hmm.
I won best standard and won best Merle. We were just sitting around there after those, and it was like, well, it's probably gonna be a while before it's over with. Let's just leave. I had no idea I had two tickets into the best of show. I didn't even know
Yeah.
I didn't know how it worked, man. Like I was like, nah, I'm not gonna. I'm not. I thought you had to buy a ticket to get into it. And I'm like, nah, we ain't gonna. Like some of these dogs here are pretty. They're
Yeah.
pretty exotic. Like we're not gonna waste our time. Let's go and go home, and then figured out later that you know we were idiots.
Isn't it called like Spooky Bash or something like that?
Well, it had some Halloween theme, but I can't. Man,
Yeah.
for whatever reason, I can't.
Yeah.
You're gonna.
Yeah, because I remember I was planning on going to that show, but I had just moved to Oklahoma in October. So like Dallas to me is like 2 hours away from now. So I was like, oh, that's not a bad trip. I might go. But we were in the middle of moving and everything, so that's one of the reasons why we didn't go. So, but yeah,
The Jamboree. That's what it is. It
the
starts with a
jamboree.
J,
Yep.
not a S, because I can't spell Jamboree. That's
Yeah,
what it was. Yeah.
yeah, the jamboree.
I mean,
Yep.
I thought that was a good one too. Like I said, but it was loud in there, and then like I said, we left. I guess just man, like not long at all before the fight broke out, and I'm glad
Yeah.
we missed the best in show or the chance at best in show, but we,
Yeah.
we also missed all the melee.
Yeah, I mean, especially with kids. I mean, that's one of the things I stressed, and me and Sean kept going back and forth about security because the venue actually left it up to us. They were really really accommodating to us. They let us get the keys the day before without charging us anything, and then they're like, "Well, we're not making y'all get security, so it's completely up to y'all." And me and Sean kept going back. Should we get security? Should we not? Should we? Should we not? And we're like, look, the people who we invited, the people who actually know what we're about, we're always at dog shows. We're always with our family. I have a 4 year old. Sean has a 3 year old and a 2 year old. And we're like, they know we're family oriented. So, I mean, it was good. There was no fights. There was no people getting in each other's faces. There was nothing like that. So, I mean, I really, really thank the community for coming out and supporting and actually leaving all the drama alone for for once.
No, it was good. Like I said,
Yeah.
I never felt unsafe. I,
Yeah.
I don't know that my situational awareness was as good at the other one because I never felt unsafe there. I was so surprised when a fight broke out, but I guess those stack offs where you let people get right up on the table in the action there, it kind of
Yeah.
kind of lends itself to evidently to
Yeah.
to some
Yeah.
agitation.
We had a couple of that going on one of the VIP booths, but it was very, very like wasn't nothing crazy because they didn't combine any tables to actually have like 20 people on a stack off and people yelling and screaming or
I
whatnot.
never even knew it happened.
Yeah.
So that's how discreet it was.
So I mean, maybe 2.0 happens, but we'll see.
What would you
I'm
say?
not
What would
sure.
you say? Would you say the fix is to that? Like to put the tables in the ring and only have competitors in the ring with their dogs during the stack off like that? Like how do because I guess the one at the Jamboree broke out because somebody touched somebody was pushing somebody, and then things got heated, and then it got out of hand, right? So
Yeah, I mean, I've never, so that whole stack table thing, I've never understood. I mean, people love the stack table. I mean, by all means, if that's your cup of tea, that's your cup of tea. But I mean, I've never understood why do you want to put a stack table when you have a ring, right? If you want to do a ring, maybe because, I guess maybe because you just can't go into the ring and stack off all the dogs that you want to stack off together because they're different category. I mean, breed standards or whatever they want to call it. But I mean, I don't know. I'm just assuming it's everybody's cup of tea. There's people that love the stack. There's people that don't love the stack, right? I mean, but I mean, if you're stacking a dog on the table, what I mean, I guess it's just media. I think they just do it for media, really, right? I
well,
mean, every time you have somebody on a stack table screaming and saying their dog's the best or whatnot, you're always having somebody recording it and on a live or whatnot. So maybe it's
that ain't no
just for
different than Frenchie breeders on Facebook, man. It's everybody's got the best, and everybody else's is crap. You know.
yeah. I leave all that alone, man. Like I said, I have two Frenchies and they're real nice. It's just one's Coco that looks black and the other one's a female Coco Merle that's nice too, but nothing too exotic to everybody's liking. And they're my dogs, and that's it. I have enough with Frenchies with those two.
Well, I
Yeah.
took a real, I don't know, like the Frenchies. When I first got into it, I don't like Merle, to be honest with you. It's not my cup of tea, but I know other people do, so I got a few. But
Yeah.
like the husky, the panda, and
Yeah.
and is recently the EA. I've took a real liking to it. Like
Hmm.
it's that pattern, man. That especially on the pandas, like it's just unique and it's repeatable. That's what I like about it.
Yeah. So, are you liking the more hide face look?
Uh, so my favorite.
Is that your
Well,
liking?
so my girl, I don't, and I don't. I'm not. I don't know if it's a mask or what it is that caused it, but she's got the completely blaze white face.
Oh, okay.
She didn't get the triangles around her eyes, and that is my favorite. That wasn't intentional. It wasn't like I set out to do that. You know, I went, oh, I'm gonna
Yeah.
breed her, and this is what I'm gonna do. And I have a Rojo girl that is she's got the triangles, and I like it too. But that blaze face, like I don't
Yeah.
know, man, it just looks more bulldogish to me. Like it,
My favorite color Frenchie is Rojo.
oh,
I'm a
absolutely.
sucker. Yeah, I'm a sucker for Rojo.
I'm a
Like
ginger myself,
Rick.
so I'm
Yeah,
already. Hey, listen, I'm partial to anything redheaded.
yeah. I'm a sucker for that. Like Ric Flair and the Little Ricky and all them. I actually I don't know if you caught him. You know, Little Ricky was at BullyDex.
I'd already left.
Oh, okay.
He
Yeah,
come in real late, I guess.
yeah,
As far as
yeah, I believe he did. Yeah, he said he had drove like 4 hours away and he had left like at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So yeah, he showed up late, but he's
I
like,
seen where he posted that he showed up, and I was like, hell, I never saw him. But then I guess he said that he showed up late, and all the classes he could have competed in were already run.
yeah,
Well, I
yeah,
mean, we
that
didn't
was,
leave. The fun show was over, right? And we'd watched enough of the sanctioned show to have a good
yeah,
idea of how that goes, and and
yeah,
the type of dogs that you were going to be up against. So we had
yeah,
5 hour ride, so we went ahead and we're actually going to go to the hotel get something to eat, but the room we booked through I don't know, VRBO or whatever, they
yeah.
something happened and we got there and they didn't have a room, so we just drove on home that night.
Yeah, kind of like what happened to one of to my photographer's rental car.
It's just
Yeah, that's another story. Yeah, that's another story. There's, I'm telling you, there's a lot of stuff that people don't see behind the scenes, man. So Friday morning, me and my wife left. We left from Oklahoma and we drove straight to Gonzales. And I kid you not, my phone was blowing up the whole 6 hours, and my wife's like, now I have to be like, my wife's answering everybody through text message, like nonstop, nonstop. I'm like, and I looked at her, I'm like, see, and you're always complaining why I'm on the phone. I'm answering people like, I'm like, you're seeing it firsthand. She's like, man, I don't know how you do it. I'm like, I tell you.
one
Like
one
it's
one problem at a time, right? Like
yep.
it's
Yes.
how you eat an elephant, is one bite at a time. I can only imagine that,
Yeah.
because you got it, it's everything, right? Like it's all the stuff you don't see, like you said, the trophies
Yeah,
and the venue and like worrying about whether you're not going to make money. I can't imagine like
yeah,
knowing how to fill your booths or knowing enough people or having enough pull to get
yes.
people there. Like that's got to be nerve wracking, even
Yeah.
if you've done it before. Like
I mean, we didn't sell out the show, right? I think there was 4 booths left.
it's
And I'm
close.
actually, yeah, close. But I'm actually that those 4 booths didn't sell because there was way more room in the back for people to linger and network and everything. Because if think about it, that whole so right by where the concession stand was, there was like 4 tables right there. That those were the empty spots. Think about if that was filled up with booths on top of people waiting at the concession stand. And jam packed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
And I can say that with some certainty because I was in 22, so I was right there on the edge of where they
yeah,
stopped. You know what I'm saying?
yep. Yeah, exactly. So I that's kind of so that's another thing like for 2.0 I could actually keep in mind too. Like, you know what? Maybe don't give them 48 booths. It's not necessary. I could just fill up this side and leave this side open for tables or whoever wants to eat lunch over here, whatever. Like little stuff like that. I mean, it's sometimes people like to jam pack with booths, but sometimes it's not really necessary. At the end of the day, it is you are throwing the show because you're trying to make money, of course, right? But at the end of the day is are you going to make more money off selling a booth for $250, or are you going to make more money if a person can enjoy themselves and be comfortable and sit throughout the show and enter more category, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yep.
I mean, that's
So
what I did. Like I said, we enjoyed the entire experience, and I felt like it wasn't it didn't. I didn't have to take a loan out to go to the dog show.
yeah. Oh, tell me about it. Oh, you have to take a loan out for the jungle and off leash. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, man, I know that's what I'm talking about. Like I understand those are huge shows, but
Yeah.
like the fact that they start at
Yeah.
500 or 750, whatever it is, like it's up there. That's just
E-
getting the door, and then
even to get in the door, I believe I don't think gyms. I think off a leash is $50 to get in.
wow.
That's yeah. And then I believe they go through the ticket system, so they're charging taxes and everything else. So at the end of the day, your admissions fee is like $61. I mean I'm sorry, but for a dog show, that's pricey. That's
Well,
pricey. I mean,
is that for you and a dog, or you got to pay for a dog on top
no,
of that? Because
no, that's for you. $61. That's a person's admission fee. I want to say that was the admissions fee for off the leash.
oh,
And again, I don't know what the price cost for that venue, and I can't say that that was a lot or a little. But I mean, for somebody to charge $50 admission fee, that's up there. I believe, right? People were complaining because we were charging $25. I mean,
well,
look, people were complaining because we were charging $5 for parking, and all that money from the parking we donated to the kids.
hey, the only problem I had with the parking is I didn't remember seeing where it was posted on your flyer,
Yeah,
and I showed up with entry money, and the bank gave me $100 bills, and when I handed him that, I was like, "It's all I
yeah,
got." I cleaned him
yeah,
out, man, like for the
yeah,
change. So that was
yeah,
that was the only issue with parking I had.
yeah. I think I want to say I don't know if I had put it on the flyer or I was every live I was going on.
I don't
I was
pay good
saying it.
attention, so it could have been
Yeah, I
both.
know.
That's
Yeah, but yeah, that's and I mean, and you would think I'm kidding. There was people driving around that guy to not pay the $5 for parking.
well,
Like, yeah, it was
I,
like he told me a gentleman's like, damn, Zoe's charging $5 for parking. Like, come on, man. Like I was like,
man, come on, so
yeah,
you did have controversy with your show that we found
well,
the
yeah,
real deal. What
yeah,
happened was the
yeah,
parking controversy, the
yeah,
parking gate.
yep. And
So,
And for people who are probably questioning the whole $5 a person, so he had his own envelope and we've used his own Cash App. He was using his personal Cash App to make sure that he knows how much the parking was. So That's another bit like, nah, he didn't give it all to the kids. Well, we even donated $100 on top of what we got from the parking for the kids.
So I tell you how I look at stuff like that because you know I've had discussions on this where you know you give money to
Hmm.
somebody on the street or at a red light or whatever, and been told like, oh, they ain't, they just panhandling, they ain't really broke like that. And I was like, man, that's between them and God. What I did,
Yes.
that's for me. Like that's
Uh
that's
huh.
that's my deal. Like what he
Yeah.
does after that, if he defrauded me out of my money, like he got to answer for that. So if there was some crooked stuff going on with the parking, man, that's between you
Yeah.
and God. All I can
Yeah,
do is
but
pay it because it was
yeah,
supposed to go to kids, right? Like in good
yes,
faith.
yes, it went
Yeah,
100% to kids. Yeah,
yeah.
there's come on. I mean, we felt like we really didn't give them a halftime show, so we're like, what can we give the kids? And that's what we came up
It's a
with.
pretty weak
So
scam. I'm gonna just be honest with you. If you're scamming people, you need to raise it because $5, man,
yeah,
you got to scam a lot of people to to make an impact. Like you
I
really need
mean,
to raise your price there.
I mean, the MC raised 12 or $1,300, and we donated almost $500 for the kids.
Well, there you
So
go.
all the kids, yeah, so all the kids that went into the ring went home almost with $50. I mean, that's at that point, that's two categories.
Yeah.
I mean, by all means, all the kids got their money and went straight to the concession stand and bought candy, so it came back to us. But
All right, but that's a choice though, right? That's
yeah,
between them
yeah,
and God, not you.
yeah, yeah. Because I had Sean's wife tell me like, yeah, as soon as you handed out them, he like we had a line of kids buying all the candy. I was like, well, we did our part.
I'm sure them parents appreciated dealing with them kids on the ride home too. A lot of
Hmm.
"Are we there yet?" And he's all sugared up.
Yeah,
Well,
but I mean, but the way to price booths out is just basically you're trying to cover your upfront costs, right? So you're trying to cover your upfront costs so you won't really have to go out of your own pocket. But if you're not selling any booths, like we weren't the first 8 months, I mean, I want to say in October we probably had 13 booths sold. So me and Sean were actually coming out of our own pockets to pay for all the stuff. So all the stuff before we started rolling with the booths, that was coming out of our pockets.
yeah, see, that should be taken into consideration when you go to
Yeah.
dropping about a show. Is like there's a
Hmm.
lot of faith there to where if it didn't, if you'd have sold
Yeah.
half of them, like y'all have took a huge loss, right? Like that's
Yeah. Yeah. So at the end of the day, we did all right. I mean, everybody says is your first show you break even, your second show you make a little bit, your third show is where you see the return. So at the end of the day, it has to make sense to throw a 2.0. I guess they say what it has to if it don't make money, it don't make sense.
no. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense.
Yeah.
I think is what they said. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So honestly, the reviews and the people asking me for a 2.0, I think 2.0 will be not saying that it will be bigger, but I think there will be a lot more people there because they know what to expect from the show now.
Well, I think I could go ahead and speak for my folks. It'd be more of us and more dogs. We'll bring more dogs to it. We'll be there for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So it all depends because I don't know. Did you see that big pavilion in the
Uh,
back of the venue?
yes, yes, I did actually because
So
I left out the side door.
that big pavilion, if we wanted to rent it out, we would be able to rent it out and actually a dog show out there and a dog show in here if we
Is it
plan on doing it.
is it a one-on-one deal or is there a standard price that you could share to give people an idea like what a venue costs?
So let's just say it's a so say for instance, and I'm just throwing a number. This is not how much it costs, right? Say for instance, the venue costs $5,000, right?
Is
The
that
venue
pretty
costs five.
that
Yeah,
pretty common? Is
just
that pretty close to an actual
um,
cost?
it all depends though, because it all depends. Because I've heard venues cost 15,000. I've heard venues cost 10,000. I've heard venues cost 5,000. But I'm just giving you a general
Okay.
idea. Say the venue costs 5,000, right? That's just 5,000 to rent the venue just for that day, for 24 hours of that day. You still have to give uh security deposit. So not only you have to pay the 5,000, now you have to pay say half of the deposit for a security deposit. Let's say 2,500. So now just straight out the door to throw that dog show, you have to have $7,500, right?
Yep.
That's just for that day for the venue, so you could be covered. Then your next step after the venue is you have to have insurance for that day, and you have to get and it depends on how many people you estimate. That's where the prices start climbing up. So say you estimate $300. I mean $300. Say you estimate 400 people, it's going to be X amount of money. Say you estimate 500 people, it's going to be X amount of X amount of money. But how do you estimate people if this is your first show and you don't know what's going to be your y- what's the word I'm looking for? What's going to be your,
You're.
yeah, you don't know what to expect, right?
I would think. I would think
So
it would be somewhere around the capacity of the building, right?
yeah, so I mean the capacity of the building, I believe they said it was like 1,500 people, something like that.
I don't know if I. What we.
That th-
Boy, that'd have been some jungle stuff in there. Because,
yeah, something like that.
ooh,
I mean,
that's.
I mean, I would wish I could be able to tell how many people walked in the door. I if I had to guess, it's probably anywhere between, and this is just a guesstimate, 150 to 200 to 250, maybe,
You think that's
maybe.
the case? Because like I think you had your people there for the booth, and and
Hmm.
and I kind of like it's not a official count or anything, but
Yeah,
like 100 people seem to be a pretty standard flow. But
yeah,
you have those people that leave that come back, the ones that are not
yes,
competing that are helping or not helping, they're just there for their buddy. It's kind of like going live. Like you may never have
yeah,
more than 100 at one time, but
yeah,
you might
yeah,
have cycled 200 or 300 through there.
yeah,
And
and I
I
wouldn't.
don't know what the
Yeah,
numbers are. I'm just guessing here.
yeah, and I that's just my guesstimate. There's no way for actually me to be able to tell because when they were paying, it was just going into all of our accounts, and they weren't putting like, "Hey, this is insurance booth or whatever." But I mean, that's my guesstimate. But I mean, I like the turnout. I mean, I know it was small, but there was a lot of people coming in and out. I know that for a fact. So, but yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
seen
this.
I just judging out the parking lot because like when we got there, it was there was cars parked around me that
Hmm.
every time we went out there, they did seem to cycle. So like
Yeah.
people had to drive those cars in and out of there.
So if we're just say we're talking about pricing, right? Say I had 8 VIP booths at $500 each. That's one, two, three, four. That's $4,000, right?
Right.
That's $4,000 just VIP booths. But you also have to consider the VIP packages that right. We're giving we're giving VIP booths for people that cut for people entrance. That's basically $100 that we're giving them. So you're taking away 500. So now it's really 400. We're giving them three dogs at $15 each. So now that's what, $45.
Yeah, another $45.
Yeah. So basically, at the end of the day, then the VIP package that we give them, right? That package that we give them was probably a good $200. So like really at the end of the day, for each VIP booth, we maybe made 150, $200, maybe. So really, I want to say the show host probably makes his money on the categories. That's where they make their money on, unless they're jam packing their venue with booths,
Yes,
and you're
I'm gonna be
and they're
honest with you. I would have thought you would have made your money on the door, but when you break it down like that, like it makes sense that you wouldn't because you give up a lot of the door with each booth that you sell.
yep. So now, say for instance, because we like during Christmas time, we for the regular booths, we were running a special, right? Uh, and towards the end, I was like, you know what, let's just sell what we could sell. We did it. So um, some of the booths that we had marked at 250, maybe we let them go at 200 just to get people in the door. You know what I'm saying? So at
Yeah.
the end of the day, at the end of the day, at the end of the day, our goal was to get people at the door, whether we were selling booths or not, is to get people in the door because our goal was to have people enter as many categories as possible as they wanted to. That's where you're gonna make your money.
Yeah, it was a. I hope it was a profitable strategy for you.
I mean, like I said, we did all right. I wouldn't say we made out like bandits or anything, but at the end of the day, we did all right.
Well,
I
if you're
mean,
gonna do another one, like I mean, that's the point of it is to make money. Like I mean, that might not
yeah,
be the sole purpose, but you have to because if you don't, it's not worth the effort, the sacrifice you spend away from your family, the resources you turn away
yeah,
from your family while you're planning it. You know,
yes.
it's so it has to be worth it for everybody, the
The
participants and the host.
yes, the promoting, the going to shows and promoting the lives that you do during the show.
What would
The
you say the most effective way of promoting the show is then? Like that you bring that up. I'm curious because
face to
social
face,
media or actually shaking hands in at a show.
fake shaking hands. I sold more booths shaking hands than I actually did. Uh, that I actually did on my messenger. Don't get me wrong. I sold a lot of booths through social media, but when I went to shows, I sold a lot of booths.
So it was more results oriented when you shook somebody's hand and talked to them about your
Yes,
show. That yeah.
yeah, definitely, because they know. So as a show host, right, you have to present yourself very presentable, right? If they know that you're walking around, say, clowning and not taking the show serious or anything, they're going to see like, what, this guy's a show host, right?
Right.
I mean, honestly, like there's certain people that you know that are good to be show hosts, and there's some people that you know they're just trying to make a buck. Be completely honest with you, right? Um, but face to face, very very well um, conversations with people. Those UK people that came in, I shook their hands. I talked to them face to face. I sold them a booth face to face. So I brought them into the show, networking at another show. So I want to say you if you're throwing a show, you better make sure you have a tour. You make sure you go and shake and don't just go to shows that are thrown every weekend around your neighborhood. Make sure you go to shows to the East Coast. Make sure you go to the show in the central Midwest area. Make sure you go to the West Coast. Make sure because there's people that might like you. You had me as a friend and you didn't even know I was throwing the show until what, December?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I started doing a search trying to plan out this
mhm,
year as far as what shows we were wanting to attend,
yeah.
and that way we had an idea, and it came up in the search.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, I posted. I want to say from October to the day of the show every single day,
Well, you
every
wasn't in
single
my
day.
algorithm, is what the issue was.
Yeah,
So
yeah. And some people tell me that they'll be like, "Man, Zoe, I don't get your stuff until like 5 days later." I
that's
was like,
because you
"Well, I
pissed
don't."
off Zuckerberg for whatever
Yeah,
reason. And
yeah. I don't know. But yeah, he's pissed off of the whole $50 that I make off social media a month. Yeah, so.
at least you're making money off of it.
Yeah, it just started though. I'm telling you, once you start posting every day, it's like, what is this? They want the
Man, I
text.
tried. I
Yeah,
don't have the. I guess I don't have the drive for it because I'll get it going and post 3 or 4 or 5 days in a row, and then I'm just like, man, it's just I gotta go do something else. I can't.
it could be the most dumbest things that you could post. Honestly, so I have somebody looking for a rojo fluffy stud. Go ahead and post it.
I,
And you know
I
how
know
many people.
somebody in case if that's a real thing. You just make that up. I know a guy.
No, no, I'm saying, say for instance, you say, "Oh, I'm looking for a blue tri fluffy English bulldog or a blue tri fluffy bully." You will have, oh, I guarantee you, you will have over 200 posts on that one post.
But you're not
Yeah,
really looking. You
but
just
you're not really looking. You're
you're
just
just
trying to,
looking for comments.
yeah, you're looking for content, and that's how you start getting people in your algorithm. Not me. I have not done that personally, but I had people show me particularly like, look, I do this. Like what?
I'm
Like
about to
some people,
I'm about to do it
like
when
some.
we hang up.
I'm I'm
Every
telling you,
day
some people.
I'm looking for a free money.
Yeah, yeah. No, some people take that. I also seen this. Some people. take the worst picture of their dog and post it so they could get everybody
Oh
to
man,
troll. Hmm.
that's hating right there.
Uh,
Like this,
mm.
man, you can't do that. Like that's not
No,
right. Like
no, of their own dog.
I know what you're saying. Like you just trying to get
Hmm.
that, what they call it, rage baiting or whatever. Like
Hmm.
you just trying to touch that negative nerve. And
No, and I mean, you have people, and I've seen it. I've seen it. You have people making reels of the dog. Why are you breeding it? This is genetically disinformed. This and this and that.
oh
And
yeah.
blah, like, man,
Well, I mean, we talked
yeah,
about that. Me and Kevin talked about that. Like I know a guy. He's pretty local to me, and like he had that $150 stud special, and I've seen
yeah,
his dog in person. It's not a world beater, but it's
yeah.
better than a lot of dogs out there, in all honesty. And nobody knows who he is, and he can't get any traction. And I wouldn't never do it personally, but I understand why he did. And anybody, I don't know what the answer for him is. You know what I'm saying? He bought the dog, whether he was sold a dream or not, he took advantage of. Like that's the thing, is it's like the man's just trying to get some traction,
Here's the thing,
and
right?
people were just eating him up. And the guy, like there was a guy that screenshotted his post, and just I've seen him
Hmm.
just every anybody else griped about stud fees, he posted that picture, and I was just like, man, like
But here's the thing, right? You, if he's not getting any traction with that dog, him, right? I'm just talking about the individual. Would you rather have $0 or get six breedings and have $1,000 or
exactly.
$1,200? I mean, he's not hurting nothing. I mean, he might be hurting the French bulldog community. I mean, but
But
at the
how?
end of the
Because
dog,
that goes to, once you see, now that's the thing though. Once you've sold that dog at $150, you're never gonna ask $1,000 and get it. Like
I mean, nowadays,
something weird's gonna have to happen. He's gonna have to win Frenchie Bowl or something. You know what I'm saying? Something very
yeah,
unlikely is gonna have to happen to increase the value of that dog. But if that's what gets his foot in the door and gets him networking with people, and the dog was of decent quality, to where the next
exactly.
dog he gets, he one, he has a bigger network. Two, he has experience
Yes.
now at pushing a stud. So it
Yep.
should theoretically, he should get better at it, right? Like this, it's like making fun of a toddler when they're learning to walk.
Well, it's kind of like how Shaquille O'Neal um, promotes his shoes, right? Back in the day, he was selling his shoes for $80. Nobody was buying them. Then he went with Walmart and was selling them for $20 each.
Yeah, that's not the story he tells, but yeah, you're right.
I mean, right?
He
I
said
mean,
he made a moral decision that he
yeah,
couldn't see that some mother yelled at him and told him, what's wrong with you, selling these shoes for this price.
yeah. But at the end of the day, they were sitting on the shelves,
Yeah,
right?
right, exactly.
I mean, right? So, I mean, honestly, I mean, I don't. If somebody wants to drop an English bulldog at $150, hey, by all means, more power to you. It does not affect me one bit. But I know what I have, and if you want to use my stud, this is my price. If you don't want, that's it. Like I said, like he's living. I have my boy. His name's Mini. He's at $2,000, and people always hit me up. Hey, I got. He's at $2,000. I mean, he's living. He's perfectly fine where I have him. I mean, if you don't want to use it for $2,000, sorry, that's it. That's
There,
I know
there
what
you
I
go.
have. I know what he produces. That's it.
Well, I mean,
But
it's like you said. I mean, if you look at it, like they sell back in the day, Reebok was a competitor to Nike. When I was a kid
hmm
growing up, like both of those were on equal playing field. Now they sell Reebok at Walmart. You're never gonna find
yep,
Nike there.
exactly. At the end of the day, you still have Reebok around.
Exactly. Is that they made a choice, and Nike didn't
Hmm.
follow. Like Nike will still charge you $25 for a T-shirt, where Reebok you can get it at Walmart for about $9.97.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? At the end of the day, they're both making money. They're both in different platforms. They both have their net worth, and that's it. So I mean, it is. Everybody has a lane. I mean, if everybody just minds their business and stay on the lane, and who cares what the next person does, and just mind your business, this world would be a lot more peaceful than what it is.
And it'd be boring too. There'd be no controversy.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, exactly. I
we've
mean,
been
you
at
have,
it a while now, boss, and
yep,
I try not to go over a couple hours. That way
no,
we can split them if we need to. But hey, man, it was a good conversation, And
Yeah,
if there's
definitely.
anything like you got coming up or anything you want to plug, now is the time.
Yes.
As for outside of the like, I guess when you make the 2.0, you know,
Yeah.
I'd be more than
So
happy to share that
yeah,
on
no,
to
definitely.
my 17
Uh,
followers.
no, you're good. I mean, I'm telling you, you once you start sharing, you get your podcast to the right people, it'll blow up, and you'll be like, "Who's Zoe?"
So, well, no. It's, you know, well, unfortunately, they're not. Like I think, like I said, Kevin, I think they're headed to Miami, and I guess to Roderick, he run late at work or whatever,
Yeah.
and he couldn't make it. But
No,
so
just
it ain't just me.
yeah, yeah. Just if anybody wants to follow me, you could find me in Zo Lopez on Facebook or Zolo_Bulldogs on Instagram. If you want a great show, upcoming great show to go to, it is a buddy of mine's. I will be judging the English Bulldog. His name is Ivan DeFazio. Um, it's in the Chicagoland area. It is March 28th. I went to a show last week, last year. I highly recommend. It is 1,000% a beautiful, family oriented show. I highly recommend for y'all to tap in with him and make sure um, you get any booths available. I believe he has three left, but highly recommend that show if you want to get out of the state of Texas or anywhere else.
Well, you know
Uh,
what? It's such a touchy subject. I think
mhm.
if you were willing, I'd love to have you back to discuss judging
Yeah, that's
and
fine.
what goes into that, what goes in that mindset, and like maybe
Yeah,
some
man.
good and
Just
bad stories that you've experienced in
oh,
doing
oh,
such, and maybe give
oh.
people a glimpse into the pressure that goes into judging there.
No, yeah. I mean, you have my number. Just call me up whenever you want me to jump back on. You know, I'm more than willing to jump back on. And I do have some lovely stories about judging. Trust me.
Hey, well, we'll have to do that, especially when the trio is back together, and
Yeah.
that way it's not just me thinking of the questions. It's more
Yeah.
interesting when it's somebody else too.
Oh yeah, definitely, Ben. But I really appreciate you and the team for reaching out and having me on and make sure you tag me on the post and I'll be sharing it so everybody could get a glimpse if BullyDex 2.0 is coming or not.
Absolutely. All right, man. Well, I'm gonna check out here, and I like I said, I more than appreciate your time, and
Uh,
it was a pretty good interview, I believe. Pretty good
yeah,
conversation.
yeah, definitely. You have yourself a good night and thank you.
All right, thank you, sir.
Welcome inside the kennel, the heartbeat of the dog game, where real breeders break down real experiences, and the experts drop the knowledge you can't Google. We talking structure, bloodlines, nutrition, training, wins, losses, and everything that makes champions in and out of the ring. This is for the ones who live it, breathe it, and build it, one lid at a time. Your host, Kevin, Ben, and Roderick. Lock in.